Traeger here again, and we just finished up our 2.5-year-old well check. And today, just wanted to go over a couple different things with you to hit on some of the things that we may not have had enough time to spend on in the office. Remember, these videos are wonderful to share with folks that weren't able to make it to the appointment with you, so that way they can kind of see what we talked about and some other things that we're trying to keep you guys up to date on when it comes to your kids and where they are at this point. So 2.5 is a lot of fun, okay? And I know I say that probably every single time you guys come in, but at 2.5, there's a lot of really interesting things about it. You're definitely not a baby. You're definitely not a big kid yet, okay? And a lot of kids at this age will actually feel that tension. You know, at 2, they kind of play alongside other kids. At 3, they play with the other kids. And at 2.5, they may be kind of in that sometimes I do this, sometimes I don't, and get to be really kind of particular about those things. So, so just kind of watch out, you know, for those things that they're coming for you and things like that. At 2, the picky eating thing is legit. It's still happening. They're still very picky. They still, won't want to try new things. And again, you know, you offer what you guys are offering and don't make any special meals. The juice, a little bit here and there, but a little bit of 2% milk, skim milk, things like that. Those things are okay too, but mostly we should be drinking water. And you'll find that kids that drink less, pee less, and therefore the toilet training and stuff has gotten easier. Now, if it's time to start toilet training, you're hitting that point now, take a look back at our 2-year-old video. There's more information in there about going through the toilet training, but this is the age that we should start working on that as well. So we love the idea of, hey, when we're ready to toilet train, it's time to toilet train. So there's no going back. So you say, all right, we're gonna do it. And you big boy underwear throughout the whole day. And then at night, go ahead and use diapers, pull-ups, things like that, because 10% of 5-year-olds wet the bed every single night. So wetting the bed, totally fine, nothing to worry about. But during the daytime, we should be dry. And you just say, okay, let's go to the bathroom. One of the hardest questions to ask a kid is, do you need to go to the bathroom? Well, of course the answer is no, I don't need to go to the bathroom because I'm playing, I'm having a good time. So just say, all right, let's go. We're going to the bathroom. And you just get into that routine. It will make things a lot easier for you. So when it comes to 2 developmental milestones, remember spoons less than 2-ish. Okay, now that we're 2.5, they should be able to take that fork and they should be able to stab things with it. And knives later on, okay, but at this age you should use forks, spoons, things like that, not be making messes and things. At 2, going along with the toilet training, is we should be washing our hands, okay? That's an important thing to do, and that means that you have to supervise them, you have to be in there and show them how to get between their hands and do a good job walking with that. The imaginative play is starting at this age, where they'll get to, you know, a little bit of pretending and things like that. So if you notice, just kind of give you some background on what we do in the office. When you're less than 2, when it comes time to examine the kids, it really is, all right, let's examine them, you hold them, let's get it over with and kind of go from there. You know, maybe make a couple noises, but at this age, maybe we're looking for cats in the ears, okay? And the kids will start to like it. So you can start playing with those things. And that's a really cool thing to do, is because now that we're 2.5, 2.5, whatever, the imaginative play starts. So when there's a stressful thing coming up, or there's something that's going to be new, talk about it with them. You know, practice with it a little bit. It's really fine when you're going to the dentist, is okay, let's practice counting your teeth, open up and let me go in there. Hey, we're going to go see Dr. Traeger. Let's practice sitting in mom's lap. And oh, we're going to look in your ears and see if there's any cats in there. Those kinds of behaviors go a long way, and your kids are going to enjoy doing that thing. Hey, let's start playing going to daycare. Let's playing with these routines and stuff like that. They're going to love it. Okay, it's really, really good. You can practice, you can play. This is how we sit good at Thanksgiving dinner with the folks or the grandparents and stuff like that. So, you know, experiment with those things. Imaginative play is going to be picking up a lot. At this age, when it comes to talking, they're going to want to get your attention a lot. So many words you can't count them. And a stranger understands about half, about 3/4 of what they say. But at this age, they're going to want your attention. They're like, look at me, mom, watch this, dad, watch this. You know, help me, things like that. Those are really big at 2.5. They should be taking the steps, you know, pretty good. They should be able to run without falling much. They'll still fall, but they should be running now. It's kind of like a weird gallop looking thing for some kids. And then when they're using crayons and things like that, or things, they should be holding it, you know, not closed fisted. They should instead be holding it, you know, more like, you know, like normal, or, you know, but not like they're gonna go stabbing somebody anymore. And then if you want to start throwing balls at them, that's a great, you know, they should be able to catch them a little bit anyway. So you kind of lob it, you know, I know, don't relive your baseball career with it, guys. Just kind of lob it to them and go from there. Okay, great. So developmental milestones, those are the big things there. When it comes to, eating, we talked about going to the bathroom, sleeping at this age, toddler beds or cribs still, that's totally fine. But the routine is really important. Having that same routine of this is what the morning looks like, this is what lunchtime looks like. And yes, you're taking a nap, okay? So a lot of kids at 2.5, they'll start to fight you with the naps and they'll say, I don't want one. And you say, I don't care if you want one. We're still taking a nap. That has to work for your family. So what's funny is baby number 1 normally gets good naps. Baby number 2 and beyond, it's like they just kind of fall asleep whenever you can. But try and protect that time as much as you can and say, nope, we're going to stay you're going to take a nap and you're going to be in your room or you're going to be in your crib. Now, when they start to resist the naps at this age, one thing you can do is say, you don't have to sleep, but you can't stay here, okay? So what you can do is you can say, all right, you're gonna go in your room, in your crib or your room, and the door is gonna be closed, and you're gonna entertain yourself. If you choose to sleep, great, I'll be back in a half hour, I'll be back in an hour. You determine how long that's gonna be. And if they wanna just cry the whole time in there, that's fine, but they can't be destructive, they can't be coming out, because it's alone time. And a lot of kids, after a while, will just start to fall asleep. So when folks come to me and they say, my 2.5-year-old, my 3-year-old won't take naps anymore, then we say, fine. They get a half hour of alone time. And if you continue to be consistent with that over a long period of time, a lot of these kids will start taking naps again at 3.5, okay, and that's fine. If you asked me, and if I was totally in control of your kid's napping schedule, they'll continue to take naps until they get closer to kindergarten, okay? There's really good research that shows that kids that sleep and take naps in the afternoon until they go into kindergarten will do better intellectually. So then people say, well, my 2.5-year-old is taking a great nap in the afternoon. They're sleeping for 2 or 3 hours, but then it's 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night, and they won't go to bed. And we say, no, that's fine, because you've been working on that routine this whole time, the past 2.5 years, where you're saying, this is what we do. You eat when I tell you to, you sleep when I tell you to, you do when we're telling you to. And if you don't want to sleep, that's fine. You can stay in your bed, you can talk to yourself and things like that, but you can't come out, you can't bother me, and you just have to enforce it and you have to stick with it. So there's lots of different things, strategies that we can work on with trying to work on bedtime routine, but being as clear and consistent with your expectations really is what helps make kids be good sleepers. Okay, so routine throughout the day, night times, that's really big. The other thing is getting out and doing something, okay? It's really easy to sit there and have the TV or the Kindle be the babysitter. No, don't do that. Let's try and get out as much as we can. Have a routine where we're getting out of the house, and whether it's going for a walk or playing or things like that. Here in Bloomington Normal, we are so fortunate. There's so many things to do. If you say, well, we're bored, what are we going to do? Or we have something that we need to find. I mean, you can come up with a list very easily of things. Like there's always the Children's Discovery Museum, which is fantastic. Get the family membership. It's worth it. You can go to the zoo. We've got a great zoo. And it's going to say, well, you've seen those animals all the time, but go, every couple weeks, take advantage of those memberships if you can. We have so many parks in this community. It is crazy. Just start finding parks and you just start rotating around, okay, and making it out to them. One of our favorite places to go is just outside of town. It's in Funk's Grove, the nature center there. Oh my goodness, you let them go play there in the creeks and things like that, and go for walks on the trails. You take your homebody child, and they will just go bananas there. So have a good time with it. It's really, really great. And then if it's cold or it's wintertime, or even during the summertime to get out of the heat, go to the libraries. Oh my goodness, the normal public library, you'll see us there, okay? Go to the Bloomington Library, you're gonna see us there, okay? Because the libraries in this town are so good. But don't go and play on the Kindles there, okay, or the iPads. Go and just pick out books, okay, and let them play in that little house at the normal library there. That is so much fun to get to experiment. Play with somebody else's toys, okay, which is a lot of fun for those kids. Okay, now that we're 2.5, the tantrums and things like that, they're in full swing. So you're going to be noticing more of those things. And then how you handle those tantrums are different, okay? For every kid is a little bit different. One of the battles that we went on with one of my kids was with getting dressed, okay? One of them got dressed fine. So here's what we're wearing. One of the other kids, they would not tolerate clothing, okay? So we would say, this is what we're gonna wear. And it was a meltdown, drop into the ground, whatever, and you just have to hold them down and put them on, get them dressed, we're gonna get you dressed. So a couple strategies that we tried is we started saying, okay, well, these are two things. You can choose between this outfit or this outfit. After a while, we actually got one of those hanging closet organizers, and we'd put all the outfits in there and say, you have to choose one of those, okay, 5 or 6 of them, and then they would pick them, and then when they're all done, then we do the laundry and we put them back in. If it's a special occasion, fine, give them 2 different options or whatever. Or you can always reassure them and say, hey, after church, we're going to change out of those clothes or whatever. That's cool. But how you handle these tantrums is tough. When you're at the store and the kid's wigging out, a good option for them to do is, hey, let's go to the toy aisle and let's look, but we're not buying something. Let them look, let them touch, hold the box, whatever, and then put it back on the shelf. You're showing them, no, you don't get everything that you want all the time, and it's really great with just like kind of to practice with those things. But how you handle tantrums at this age can be difficult, and it works, but it takes a long time to see, is this actually working or is it not? And a lot of times these things go in cycles where things are going great, things that are not going great, and it's that kind of back and forth. There are lots of great resources that are out there, and really the best advice that I can give when it comes to parenting books or things like that is find what works best for you and your family. If there's a great parenting plan that's out there, if it doesn't work for you guys, then it's not a good plan for your family. So talk about those things. And a lot of times you guys working together saying, how are we going to handle this when this happens? That's a good parenting plan there. Just be firm, clear, and consistent with your expectations. But if you're looking for good books, we got lots of great book recommendations. We love those things. And if you're looking for things like podcasts or other media that's out there, one of the best ones that's out there for kids at this age and above is this one. Take a look for it. It's on the internet. You can find podcasts or their website. It's called Focus on the Family. They do so many things that talk about all kinds of different things, dealing with your kids as they get older, and, marriage relationships and things like that. So take a look at their website. And as you get older too, there's a great website that we like. It's called pluggedin.com. And what they'll do is they'll list media that's good for you. They'll say, at this age, we recommend this. And when you go to movie reviews, you can sit there and say, oh, the parents and the media on this, they're saying that we recommend this at 14 as opposed to 11. Some of these movies that you watched when you were a kid, you're like, oh, it wouldn't be that bad. And then you read the review and you're like, whoa, I didn't realize that all those things were in there. So just don't expose them to things that they're not ready for, okay? I have no problem with my kids not watching the Avengers movies when they were 6, 7, and 9 in those ages. We waited until they were older for those things because I didn't want to have to explain to them, some of the stuff that was in there. So they waited. It's okay. Their friends saw it, that's okay. But we waited on those things. And there's some great resources that are out there. Also, if you're looking for another good podcast at this stage to start listening to, just something to kill some time with, it's called the Center for Marriage and Relationships at Biola University. There's some, just look for it, Google it. They have a show that talks about, dealing with communication issues and things like that, which is really great to help with your spouse and how you deal with your kids and as they get older and stuff like that. It's never too early to start learning some techniques and things like that at this age. Okay, so 2.5, lots of cool things that are going on. The next time that we'll see you guys is when you're 3, okay? And when you come in at 3, it's gonna be a whole nother challenge that's out there. The picky eating stuff is still gonna be there, but you get to play with a lot more, which is a lot of fun. So enjoy, and we'll see you guys at 3. Thank you so much.